Hi guys, Debs again. So today I'm back with another video, and I only put a video out when something's been on my mind, I'm getting the message to do so. And this time it's about trust and the treasure of truly trusting yourself. Now, I get that this is one of the hardest things to do. And one of the main reasons was two main reasons that I see. Firstly, it's our old lives, guys. Um, we've had old lives where we've had experiences where we've trusted people and then we've been duped by it. We've had issues across lifetimes um, surrounding the energy of trust. So that's definitely a facet or a reason as to why somebody now won't trust. Um, so just remember that because when I'm in one-on-one sessions with people, this comes up all the time. So I'm speaking sort of from where I've done thousands of sessions where we talk to the actual higher self master or somebody, and that tells them, A, where those issues have come from, and B, why it affects this life now. So that's one part of it, our old lives. Okay. The second part of it is this. Where if we don't make time, we could say, to nurture the connection between our human facet, our human self, and the higher self is the first go-to, and then beyond that we have, the master, the I am, the soul, etc. If we don't nurture that connection between us and the higher self, the first go-to connect, it's almost like our guardian in this life, then what happens is there's kind of a gap between us, the human, and us, the spirit energy. Um, and when that happens, we don't feel we can trust. It's almost like if we connect with ourselves and nurture that connect, then we'll feel more that we can trust because we're linked into our own higher self. We'll even feel it easier. We'll feel those or energies that we can trust and those that we can't. Okay, so two things that are going to make a difference are you nurturing your connection with your own higher self, your own inner connection, your own inside world, and you realizing that some of this mistrust, lack of trust, is to do with old lives. So in a moment, I'm going to give you a couple of examples, but what we're also going to do today to help you guys, because I realize this is a big issue, is we're going to do a little shift in consciousness to help you let go of this old energy that's making it hard for you to trust and trust yourself. Okay, because truly if you don't trust, it's everything that you do, like if you were doing a quantum session, if you're doing energy work, healing and stuff, everything that you do, it slows it down if you don't trust. And I'll explain a little bit more about this. So let's do a little shift around it first, because we've all experienced lack of trust and we've all had reasons to, guys, from old lives. But if you've watched my video knowing the bigger picture, you'll know that this old energy that most of us have pushed under the carpet is coming up so we can heal it. And trust is one flavor of that. Okay, so as you're listening to me now, just close your eyes. Just touch your heart chakra, the center of your chest, and just take a deep breath. Just be present for a moment. You can use your visuals, your ability to visualize, or you can just feel and align with my words. Imagine right now I'm bringing in front of you a big, like a box, right? It looks like a treasure chest, but it's a big box. You are standing in front of that box and you're acknowledging that you have had lifetimes where there's been issues around trust. You're acknowledging that you have experienced this before. You don't necessarily know right now where that is, but you know and acknowledge and trust that you have had lives that have affected this facet of trusting others, trusting yourself as well. And what you're going to do right now is you're standing in front of this box, and I'm going to ask you first to tune in to where that lack of trust is, where those issues are in your body. Just tune in. Don't overthink this. The first feeling you get, go to that area in your body, wherever you've stored these issues around trust or not being able to trust. It's the energy that's preventing you from trusting both yourself and others. So once you've identified that area, it's very quick and easy to do. Just trust that first feeling. Now empty this energy from your body and please place it into that chest, that box in front of you. Just take a moment to do this. Visualize it. Sense it. I am emptying myself of all the energies that have caused this lack of trust, my inability to trust either myself or others. This is a great opportunity to let go without having to going into old stories. Obviously, if people want details, I get into that in a session, but to be honest, guys, we can let this go now. Mostly we don't need the story behind the issue once we've picked up what's going on with us. So right now, you've moved through your body and you've emptied out the energy that's stopping you from trusting either yourself or another. You've emptied it out and it's in the box right now. Know it to be there. Now, with your hand on your heart, please give thanks for the experiences that caused that. Give thanks for those experiences. It's important to do that because that partly unlocks this energy. I'm grateful for this experience. Whatever it was, I don't even need to know what it is, but I have emptied it and it's in the box right now. And now let's use the violet flame to transmute those old energies that are in that box. Now see the box in front of you and now see a beautiful violet fire, St. Germain's violet fire, and place it, it's almost like it's underneath the box. And now it just burns the box. See the beautiful flames just burning up everything that's in that box and the box. See it to be done now. Know it to be done now. To be clear, you're letting go of those old energies that were causing this issue where you couldn't trust. Be free of that old energy from old lives because that in and of itself is going to help you trust from this day forth. And now I'm going to share a couple of experiences that I've had inside one-on-one sessions I do with people. Now, I'm going to share the benefit of trust and how magic and miracles are available right now on this planet. Now, this happened quite a long time ago, but this is a good example to share. Now, I had a lady come to me once that was in stage 4 cancer and very sick. And she said to me, Debs, I want to know why this has happened to me. She recognized that everything in her body was a symptom of what's been going on in her mind. And she recognized that there was something she needed to understand about that cancer and why she had, manifested it. Because we're always manifesting things to go to a deeper level of ourselves. Anyway, we took her on a journey and we accessed the connection to her higher self, and all she saw on the journey were colors and you know, colors have vibrational frequencies that can heal. So her higher self, her soul, was showing her colors on that journey we did. And also they showed her like geometries of light, sacred geometry, things like the flower of life. But she couldn't even explain to me in this journey what geometries it was. She just said, I'm seeing colors, I'm seeing shapes, I don't understand, but I'm going to trust it. So what happened with this lady? I took her through this journey, and basically she saw colors, she saw shapes. She didn't get an explanation as to why she had actually manifested the cancer. She got the solution to the problem through vibrations, through colors and through shapes. Now what happened was we then talked directly to the higher self, and the higher self, I asked the higher self, why did you do that? Why did you show her colors and shapes? And her higher self said, because we are bringing about healing, these colors and shapes will shift her DNA. She doesn't need the stories of why she created the cancer. But, and here's the key point for you guys to know, if she trusts in capitals, what is happening, and breathes in the colors and allows the shapes, the geometry, to shift her patterns inside her, she will heal herself, right? To be clear, it wasn't me healing her. I was taking her on the journey that enabled the healing, right? This lady, seven and a half months later, rang me, and she had gone into a full remission and a healing, and she thanked me. But then I said to her, you were the one that trusted your own higher self, your own spiritual team. You trusted what we did that day in your quantum session. And that is why you have healed yourself. It was obviously timed for this lady. But I gave her back her power, because truly it was the power and the treasure, guys. Let's come back to the title of this video. The treasure of trusting yourself. She basically brought about her own healing of stage 4 cancer. I will never forget that lady, and there's many examples I have of this with all different sorts of systems. But the key was that she trusted herself and her higher self. So that is the true treasure of trusting yourself. There's magic and miracles available for healing for all sorts of things right now. We're at an auspicious time on the planet. But if you can't trust this, and you have these old life blockages around trust, then it can hinder and slow your healing down, okay? Here's another example in the other extreme, okay? I had a session with a client who was actually very psychic, very, tuned in. And we did her journey for her, and it was wonderful. She accessed all sorts of wisdom in her quantum session. But this lady, this was very interesting for me. I did a QHHT for this lady, so that quantum session was QHHT, Dolores Cannon's work. And I watched this client walk down my path, and we'd been together for maybe 5.5 hours in that session. And as she walked down the path, I watched this like grey cloud come around her. And I asked her higher self, what's that? And her higher self said to me, that's her human personality not trusting yet what we've just done in her QHHT session. And I'm like, wow. And I said to her higher self, what does that cloud do? And the higher self said to me, it slows her healing down. And then I said, so what you're saying to me is if a client doesn't trust what they're doing inside a QHHT session or a quantum session with me, then they are the ones that are hindering their own healing? And her higher self said yes. Now, the reason I'm sharing this example with you, is because that lady was actually very psychic, and she journeyed through her process in a wonderful way. It was truly a wonderful session. But it just goes to show you how lack of trust in the personality, the human facet of us, can slow us down. So that's one extreme example, but there are others I have, and this is the very reason why I'm sharing this video with you, because if it can change things for you and help other people realize that truly trusting is key to healing, and that you can let go of old issues around trust with old lives now. I've even put it in this little consciousness shift inside this video, because I want to help you guys. And we have to let go of this old energy where we've been duped and we've had issues with this in the past. Okay? And it's all around the energy of trust. Wow. I truly hope this helps you. Feel into what I've shared there. Comment or ask questions if you want to. But please know, trusting in self is truly a treasure, a gift you give to you. Okay? And know that if you don't trust, or if you have a lot of issues with this, it's likely coming from other lifetimes. Okay? Namaste, everybody. Bye for now.